Hey everyone, it's Noah from Knights of 67, and I want to do a different type of video here, mix it up a little bit. I'll go back to PTR coverage and everything when more PTR coverage happens, more Siege Orgrimmar guide videos, all that good stuff. But those videos take a really long time, so I'm trying to get them out, but it's taken a really long time, and I've been really busy lately. But I want to do a different type of video today, like a WoW discussion video on what I think the next World of Warcraft expansion will be. Now, I've wanted to do this video for a really long time, ever since really the beginning of Pandaria. But I feel like now, with patch 5.4 coming out, it seems right. Maybe I should have waited until 5.4 was out, but I figure, why not? Because I've had trouble pounding out content in recent days, so why not have something to tide people over? So I feel like I am in a pretty good position, if I do say so myself, to predict the next expansion, not only really, from a lore perspective, but also from a gameplay and just general features perspective. So I want to go over and I want to just explain what I think the next expansion will be, what they'll add, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the intro to the legendary questline for Wrathion in Mists of Pandaria. Many of you have already seen it. For those of you that haven't, you'll be able to see it. For those of you that have, it'll just be a recap. And if you notice anything in particular, pay attention to that. But I'll explain it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you guys now.
Very good. Let's talk. Tong, drinks please. My father, Deathwing, tried to destroy the whole of Azeroth. He was misguided, of course, but he was right about one thing. Our world is so fragile. We are a point of light in a universe of shadow, a candle in a tempest. Sometimes I think it was the very precariousness of our world that drove my father to madness. Ah, thank you, Tom. Now to my point. I believe we are headed towards a reckoning. And no, I am not talking about the current conflict between the Alliance and the Horde. Believe me. What Garrosh Hellscream achieved in Theramore is nothing compared to the horrors that are even now bearing down on our fragile home. But the war deeply troubles me. Do you see my concern? A divided Azeroth cannot possibly stand against the darkness. This war has to end soon, before it consumes our strength. You can rest assured that my loyalties lie with your Horde. How do we bring a swift and decisive end to the conflict? I believe the answer lies with heroes like you. We must ensure that you are up to the task, and then equip you accordingly.
Now, Wrathion said a lot of really interesting things in that cutscene, and if you didn't really get the basis of it, I'll try and explain it as best I can. So basically, Wrathion says in the beginning that he sees us coming towards a reckoning as Azeroth as a whole, and it's not the current war between the Horde and the Alliance that we've been going through since all of Mists of Pandaria. So what exactly is he talking about? Well, he's basically saying that a huge threat is on the horizon and we need to end the war quickly or we won't be able to tackle that force head on. Now, what is this threat? Although it's not really announced and it can really just be speculated, to me, I believe it is the Burning Legion. Now, why is it the Burning Legion? Well, if you remember that all those green meteors were hurtling towards the little Azeroth hologram, I guess it was. To me, that's like the infernals raining down from the sky in Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. And that got me really excited, because if the Burning Legion are coming back, then that's really awesome. Now again, it's not announced or anything, but a lot of people seem to think that this is the case, including myself. Now, I'm going to act like this next expansion is going to be about the Burning Legion. Now, it's by no means confirmed, but if this is indeed going to be the next expansion, I'm going to go over what I think it would consist of, what they would add, what they would change, all that good stuff. So, again, this is not confirmed in any way. This is purely my speculation on what the next expansion could be. One of many possibilities. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and get underway here. I'm going to go ahead and break this video down into 3 main sections. I'll leave an annotation for each section in the video so you can go to whatever part interests you most. I would highly recommend that you watch the whole thing as a whole to be less confused, but that's completely up to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first part. Now, the first part I'm going to go over here is what I think the pre-expansion event will be. Now, we all know that patch 5.4 is going to be the Siege of Orgrimmar, right? And we're finally going to take down Garrosh Hellscream as War Chief. So, that leaves the question, how do you go from Garrosh Hellscream being brought down from his reign of War Chief to the Burning Legion returning? That's a hell of a gap there. So Blizzard needs to bridge it either with patch 5.5, which although they've said won't be, another patch, it could very well end up like that. Or they could always have those pre-expansion events that they have. It could be a huge invasion of the Burning Legion, similar to the one with the pre-expansion to Burning Crusade. They could do a dungeon. They could do a heroic scenario. They could do group quests. They could do raids. They could do a whole bunch of stuff that could really be cool in any way. Now, what do I think they're going to do? I think that they'll just play it safe and do it like just about every other pre-expansion event, is have an invasion of Azeroth or something like that where we have to stop the Burning Legion, and then like some really badass Warcraft heroes come out and they're like, we must stop the Burning Legion. It's like all that cool shit's going on. And because that's pretty much been like every Blizzard pre-expansion event. I mean, Burning Crusade was battle a whole bunch of Burning Legion at the Dark Portal. Wrath was the Scourge invasion. Cataclysm was the Elemental invasion. They took a break in Mists of Pandaria because there wasn't really a huge bad guy, so it was just like the bombing of Theramore and making people pissed at Garrosh. But I feel like they'll go back to their old style of pre-expansion events with a huge invasion of the Burning Legion or something like that. Or maybe we'll kill like a huge Pit Lord or a huge Demon Commander guy or something from the Burning Legion, like, haha, the Burning Legion will finally destroy Azeroth and all that cool stuff. Like it could be a bunch of different things, and I'm purely speculating, but based on what Blizzard has done in the past, I feel like that this is the most logical thing that they would do. So, as far as that's concerned, like I said many times, I think it'll just be a huge infestation of the Burning Legion where we need to kill them all, or kill a huge... I would like to see that mixed in with, like, a big pit commander guy or a demon lord or something, because those big, killing invasion things are really fun. I mean, you would think that they would be like so overdone because Blizzard's done them so many times for so many expansions, but crazy events like that just never really get old to me. So I'd like to see Blizzard do that. I mean, they could do other things. They could do like a multi pre-expansion thing if they wanted to. Like they could do that on top of like a new dungeon or a new scenario, or like maybe we like go into some new zone in the world or some like Burning Legion place or so. They could do a bunch of different stuff. And like I said, it's all speculation at this point, and I'm just trying to piece it together based on what Blizzard's done in the past. I really think that they just go with the invasion as itself, but they usually have one or two things tied together as far as pre-expansion, so it's really up in the air, but I'm very excited to see what Blizzard will do with pre-expansion events. So now I want to go ahead and go over my second point, which is, if this expansion is indeed real and we're going to be fighting the Burning Legion, just how in the hell are we going to do it? Are we going to go to a revamped Outland? Are we going to go to a new alien world similar to Burning Crusade? Are we going to have an invasion of Azeroth similar to, I guess, Cataclysm, but with like a Burning Crusade type twist to it? Or all three? I'm basically going to go through each idea individually and see how likely it is, how unlikely it is, all that good stuff, what it would consist of, all that good stuff, and just, spitball from there. So, I'm going to go ahead and see which ones I think would be the most likely to happen. So let's get this first one out of the way here. Are they going to have Outland revamped the center of this expansion? I don't think so. But with that being said, I think that they could and should revamp Outland to make it more like the Cataclysm Classic zones in Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms, to just make that zone more fun and interactive, and like acknowledge the death of Illidan and all those people. And they could even tie it in with this Burning Legion expansion and everything, and that would be pretty cool. But as far as being the main central hub, I don't think so. They could have some additional side quests, maybe even some raids here and there. But as far as being the main thing in this expansion that we are involved in, I don't see that happening. And if it was like that, it would be really, really stupid in my opinion. A lot of friends of mine have recommended that, like, oh, Blizzard's totally going to make this, revamped Outland and everything, and I'm just like, no, I don't think that's going to happen, because I think that would be really stupid and cliche, because the Outland we know is not really the home world of the Burning Legion. It's the homeworld of the Orcs and the Draenei, but nothing really beyond that, besides some stray Burning Legion here and there. So I don't really think that's going to happen. Now, the second point I want to do is there going to be an invasion of Azeroth? Now, I think this one pretty much speaks for itself, in the sense that I think that it's not going to happen. Now, I mentioned that it could be a pre-expansion event, and I think that's really as far as it's going to go. And I don't even think that pre-expansion event is going to cause any like phased damage to the world. It's just going to be a cool little event. I don't think that this could be the central involvement of this expansion either, because they just did the Cataclysm revamping of the zones not too long ago, and to just go and erase that and make Azeroth all like destroyed from Burning Legion attacks, it would be really, really weird, and I don't think Blizzard would do it. So that brings me to my third point, and the one that I feel is most likely, and that is we are going to go to a new alien world, similar to the way we did in Burning Crusade. In Burning Crusade, it was epic. You went through the Dark Portal, and you were on the other side, and you saw all these demons and this giant pit lord and the Alliance and Horde battling side by side against the Burning Legion. Oh, it was awesome. And I think that they could do so much more with this new expansion idea if it rings true, because they have so much more technology now. I feel like it would be really, really awesome, and I do feel that this is the most logical and likely thing for Blizzard to do, is create a whole new alien world for the Burning Legion. Now, they do have a home world for the Burning Legion. It's called Argus, and this is basically where Sargeras, Kil'jaeden, maybe even Kael'thas, all those major Burning Legion commanders, leaders, basically hang out and bolster the forces of the Burning Legion. So perhaps they're just chilling there and preparing their forces for this big onslaught that they're going to unleash hell upon Azeroth. And maybe we go there and we try and stop them, because when they reach Azeroth, they just kind of unleash hell and the planet's too vulnerable and all that. So we go to their homeworld, which would tie it all together. That would be pretty cool. That could be the pre-expansion event, now that I'm thinking about it. So I really feel like this is the most logical choice that Blizzard could go with, is this home world of the Burning Legion known as Argus. I feel like that would be the most fresh and exciting idea, and they could do a lot of stuff with it, and it would be really refreshing to go outside of Azeroth and everything. So I feel like that this is the most likely choice that Blizzard would go with. Now, on to the other point is, could Blizzard do all three? Could they tie the revamping of Outland together with this new expansion? Absolutely. Could they have an Invasion of Azeroth as a pre-expansion event, or maybe a later in-expansion event? Absolutely. And could the central hub of this expansion be the new Burning Legion homeworld of Argus? Absolutely. They could do all three in some form or fashion at some point involving this next expansion. And to me, that would be really refreshing, as long as Azeroth didn't take any, major damage or anything like that, because that would be kind of cliche and stupid in my opinion. But if they did it right, I think it'd be pretty cool. And Outland definitely needs to be revamped as far as its questing is concerned, and the whole new homeworld of the Burning Legion Argus would be really, really cool, as I stated before. So I think that they could actually do all three at some point, which would be very, very cool. Now I want to go over my third and final point here, which is more of a gameplay kind of perspective here, and that is, are there going to be any new classes and or races? Now this point is a lot more difficult to predict than others in the expansion, because as far as what we'd be doing in a Burning Legion centric expansion, it'd be pretty easy to tell. Obviously, we're fighting the Burning Legion. It's either going to be Outland, Invasion of Azeroth, or a new world. Those are really the only three possibilities I can ever see happening. If you can see more, please leave them in the comments below. But for the most part, I feel like that's pretty easy to guess. But as far as new classes, new races, they could do a lot of different stuff and tie in a lot of different lore and backgrounds with this expansion. But at the same time, I feel like with this expansion, it wouldn't be all that difficult to predict. So I want to go ahead, and I think that there will only be one new feature in this game as far as classes and races. And I really don't feel that there will be any new races. If there was, it could be like a half demon that's like kind of corrupt, but kind of not. Like he's got like demon powers or something. Like it would be cool, but at the same time, I don't think they'd really do that. And here's the thing: is something like that would just kind of be made up out of the blue, and I feel like it'd be really weird, and it wouldn't really belong in WoW. Plus, come on, a demon, a level and a half demon. Like, who would play any other race? I know I'd play a half demon, whatever classes they would have. So I don't really think that there will be any new races in this expansion, but I do think that there's going to be a new class, and more specifically, I think there's going to be a new hero class, similar to the Death Knight. Now, when they made the Death Knight, they said that they always wanted to make another hero class, that they were going to come back to it at some point in the future, and since they haven't, the Monk is not a hero class, by the way. It's just a regular new class, so this could be the expansion where they add another hero class. Now, I think originally they were going to make hero classes available in Burning Crusade, and they wanted to do a demon hunter because, of course, that fit with the whole idea of Outland and Illidan and everything, because Illidan was a demon hunter. And that's what I'm kind of getting into here, is I think they could kind of recycle that old idea of wanting to make a demon hunter hero class, and it would work with this expansion too, because they would kill multiple birds with one stone. They would make a hero class, which they've wanted to do ever since they made the Death Knight. They'd make a demon hunter, which fits with the expansion. Demon hunter, a lot of people have wanted for a really long time. Plus, come on, it's a demon hunter. It's badass. It's like Illidan, but you can play as like Illidan. I mean, who doesn't want that? So now, as far as what this class would consist of, I had a lot of ideas, like how they'd play and stuff like that. And I feel like Blizzard would kind of mess it up. And what I'm saying is, every single class that they've added in the game, which isn't much, I mean, only Death Knight and Monk, but they're both melee classes. They're both melee, tank, DPS, and, well, Monk are healers, but still, they're melee classes. So I feel like this one is a ranged, and a Demon Hunter would really not make much sense to cast spells. And I don't think that they'd go the Diablo 3 route with this Demon Hunter. I don't think that they'd make it the Diablo 3 Demon Hunter with the crossbows and stuff like that. That could be cool, like dual wield crossbows and stuff, and like all kinds of different crazy shit like that. But I don't think that they do that because that's too similar to the current Hunter in WoW. So what I was thinking is they could still go with the whole ranged weapon thing, because only one class in the entire game uses ranged weapons, and that's Hunter. Everything else is either a caster or a melee. So why not have another ranged weapon class? And instead of using like crossbows and stuff like that, they could use like all kinds of like cool weaponry. They could use like grenades or like some cool like firebomb stuff. They could throw like shurikens, and then like those double like edge blades that like Illidan has and like all the demon hunters have in Warcraft 3. Instead of using those to melee, you throw those at people and you put like flame enchants on them and shit. Like it goes crazy, and I'm getting excited just talking about it. It would be an awesome concept, and I really feel like if Blizzard did that, it would be awesome. I feel like if they made Demon Hunter, they would make it too much like the Demon Hunter we know with Illidan and everything, and they'd make it like a melee class with those dual blades, which, granted, that would be pretty cool still. but I feel like my idea is is way better, and I'm not trying to be like, braggadocious or cocky or anything like that. Like, my ideas are awesome, but I just feel like the WoW player base would see that as so much more refreshing and more unique than just here slash these things with these weapons, and now you can use those legendary weapons from Black Temple as like transmog weapons. I mean, it just to me, my idea seems a lot more fresh and unique, and that's all I'm going for in this video. Is I'm not saying my ideas are awesome and every other idea sucks and everything like that. So don't take this video like that, and if you have, I'm sorry if I come across that way, but I'm by no means trying to be really cocky and saying that my ideas are great. I'm just saying, as far as World of Warcraft being more unique, that's really all I'm going for in this video, is what are fun and unique and new innovative ways to make this expansion awesome. That's all I'm going for. What I actually think Blizzard will do, I think they will probably go more simplistic, but I'm hoping in the back of in my mind that they do more unique stuff like this, because I feel like the WoW community could really use something awesome like this, and what better topic to use all this new innovative stuff than the Burning Legion, something that everyone's familiar with that plays Warcraft games. So it really seems to be setting the stage for something great. Now, I think that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So like I said, I feel like that this would be the most unique way to make WoW more innovative, more fun, and have some new ideas that Blizzard really hasn't tried out. I think that just about wraps it up. Like I said, this expansion is not set in stone. Nothing's really been announced. It's all speculation at this point, but a lot of people seem to think, including myself, that it's going to be a Burning Legion-centric expansion. I think that it's really a topic that everyone can really relate to and understand why Blizzard would do it, to try and get some of their player base back and try some unique and interesting features. And that's exactly what I tried to spitball here for you guys, with some interesting, unique, new ways that Blizzard could get players more involved in the game and everything like that. And I want to close on a point here, and that is this expansion, whatever it's going to be, whether it's Burning Legion or not, is this next expansion going to be the last World of Warcraft expansion? It's really hard to say, and I'd like to say no, but at the same time, I really think it is. And I've thought that Cataclysm, and then I thought Pandaria, and I thought all that was going to be the last expansion. So I feel I wouldn't be that surprised if they made another expansion after this next one. But I think I think it's going to be the last one, simply because of one fact, because they delayed their Project Titan, or Blizzard's huge next gen MMO. If you don't know what Titan is, I did a video on it. Link in the description for that video. I go over the topic and everything like that. It's not that long of a video to my recollection, but on to the point. They delayed Project Titan until 2016. If you think about it, every WoW expansion is out for roughly 2 years. Vanilla was 2004 to early 2007. Burning Crusade was 2007 to 2008. Wrath was 2008 to 2010. Kata 2010 to 2012. And Pandaria is going to be 2012 to probably 2014. So that leaves next expansion coming out in 2014 and probably lasting until about 2015 or 2016, which is when Titan is scheduled to be released. So why would Blizzard keep two MMOs up at the same time? It really wouldn't make sense. One of them would not succeed anymore, and I think that would be WoW if Blizzard's really putting this much emphasis and work and blood, sweat, and tears into their Project Titan, which they've had a lot of pride in, but they still haven't shown anything for it, and probably won't for at least another year, considering they just pretty much scrapped the thing and started over recently. But I feel like this will be the last WoW expansion, simply because of that fact. Because if Titan's going to come out in 2016, it's kind of funny, because Blizzard's going to kill WoW with another MMO. Like, people think like Star Wars: The Old Republic's gonna kill WoW, or Guild Wars 2 is gonna kill WoW. What's gonna kill WoW is another Blizzard MMO, and that's kind of funny. So I guess that just about covers everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was probably pretty lengthy. I cut it up into parts, so I don't exactly know how long it is, but I'm sure it's pretty lengthy. And I'm sorry it was so long, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I had fun discussing this because this is a video I've been wanting to make for a long time. So let me know what you think is going to be the next expansion. Do you agree with my points? Do you disagree? What do you think is going to be the next WoW expansion? If this isn't it, will this be the last WoW expansion? Will it not be? Leave all that stuff in the comments below. Give me your feedback, and I'll try and respond and spitball with you a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did indeed like it, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.